What's up, guys? It's Jonathan here at the Chicago Auto Show, talking everything Ford. We're going to be looking at all of the Ford vehicles, starting with the most popular ones that are going on right now. Of course, there's the Ford GT500, also the newly announced Ford Lightning, and in the very back, you've got the Ford Bronco. They've got a pretty big presence here at the show. I guess their second largest other than Stellantis. And in fact, that while their space starts from pretty much here to there, they also have the addition of the Bronco experience outside, which is a product, although the few brands that have a presence outside, and a very big one. We'll go check that out a little bit later. Let's start with the pickup trucks. Now, it's been a while now, and Ford made the announcement that they are no longer going to be doing any cars. The only cars that they have are actually the Mustang. That's the only one. They have no more sedans. Now, they have skewed that a little bit by releasing cars such as the Mustang Mach-E, which is pretty much the height of a car, but it's raised a little bit, so they classify it as an SUV. With that being said, let's start with the trucks, and we'll go with this one because no one's here. This is the 2021 Ford F-150. This is a Super Duty. This is a work truck, very much like we saw with Ram. This is Ford's take on it. Let's go check out the inside here. And I will tell you straight away, this is very much a Ford, and it feels like a Ford. And I'll tell you straight away, this feels good. A lot more creature comfort-wise than the Ram did, actually. But both with an equal amount of plastic. But again, this is a work vehicle. This is something you're going to get dirty. You're going to have dirty hands and grease and grime on. You're not wanting to have precious materials in here. Floorboard has this layering around it, so you have crumbs and stuff. That's really nice. This is all rubberized, can be easily washed out if needed. Now, this particular one has a half cab in the back, and there's enough space. I mean, it's okay for a short drive. Now, it's helped because there is nothing behind this back, behind here, so my knees can dig in a little bit. And also your driver moves the seat up, it'll be a little bit different. Let's go check out the back. It's a nice closer. That closes a lot nicer than what I saw on the Ram. If you need to, you also have, of course, all of the different closures and storage are on the side. There's a lift gate here. Again, these are very much configurable vehicles, but this is what you're in the market for. I just wanted to show it to you guys. Let's go. Oh, here's the car. Remember, we also went to, I believe it was the city truck for Dodge. This would be Ford's direct competitor. Now, the interior hasn't changed much since these have come out, but why should they? They've been tried and true. It really has the interior of the early Ford Focus, but we're going to show you inside and see if it's any better than what we saw with the Dodge. Yeah, this one is definitely nicer than the Dodge, with nicer materials, easier layouts, more creature comforts than we saw with the Dodge. Like the Dodge too, it also has a storage up here if you need to put things. Oversized, have oversized visors. But unlike the Dodge, remember there was a Dodge has a mirror here, and this one does not. Also, Dodge had a net up here, and this one does not. Just worth noting, the differences. But inside, definitely much nicer than what we saw with the Dodge. Let's check out the cargo area. Also, the ride height is very similar to the Dodge rides, even though it's a van, pretty much at the same height as a car. Let's pull this open. Now, the Dodge, when we were there, it was pretty much empty. This one has already been displayed with shelves inside. And you can't really stand inside of here. I'm going to show you me and see if you can see me sitting inside. You can't really stand inside. This is something you're pretty much going to have to crawl into or access from the side. To close this back. Here's a backup camera on there, just in case you were wondering. This one, I think the Dodge had access from both sides, so this one may. Yes, this one has access from both sides. So total MSRP on this one is $27,000. So, you know, if you've got a small company, this is a very, very good vehicle. Definitely something worth looking at. Here, guys, here we are with the commercial vehicles for Ford. Of course, we also looked at this with Dodge. If I haven't posted that video yet, I will show you. Also, this is a nicer setup than the Dodge. Remember the larger cargo van had if the Dodge didn't have as nice as interior as the smaller one. Here, Ford has actually let the larger one have just as nice, actually a nicer interior than the small one. Let's go inside here. If you remember, the Dodge had a very flimsy gas cap. Let's see how this one is. No, this one's got some weight to it. This one's a little bit nicer. It's got some weight to it. Let's go up inside here. This is much nicer, actually. You've got your parking sensor on off switch. You've got your traction control, I believe that is. And this one, again, has the entire bottom. Is no carpet whatsoever. This is rubber, so you could be swept out, brushed out, rinsed out if needed. You've got these analog gauges with the digital in the very center, but they're very clear, easy to read. Again, we have have nets up here, and no mirror. So none of the cargos have mirrors, I guess, in the Ford lineup. Maybe that's something you can option, but as of these products, they don't have it. Let's hop down and check out the back. Now, the Ram one that we looked at was not put together. It was pretty much just the shell. Ford's done a little bit better with trying to display the vehicles and what they're able to do. So you've got very nice shelving in here. These LED lights are worth mentioning because these are very bright. These are not regular halogens. These are LEDs, and it does a wonder for this interior. I'm going to show you me, how I'm standing up in here. No problem whatsoever at 6'1". I am touching the ceiling a little bit, but that's okay. You know, that's fine. There's still plenty of room in here. This side door opens. Let's see if they have it unlocked. Yes, they do. So you see a very big entrancing on here. All right, guys, this is the 2021 F-150 4x4 Super Crew. This is the Tremor trim. We're going to check inside, of course, with that. You've got this nice stitching on the seats. You've got the Tremor badging. I'll turn this down. Immediately, you have this huge screen. Now, this is an update, you know, that they're doing with most of the Ford trucks now. They have this huge screen. Like, you can see my hand, and it is, I don't know what size screen this is. This has to be at least a 12-inch display. So you've got these metal-looking gauge clusters, but these metal-looking knobs, but these are, of course, plastic. Let's see what kind of outlets they have. They have a regular household 120 volt. You've got a 12 volt direct port, and then I'm looking for any type of, okay, here we go in here. USB-C. This gear selector is actually able to fold flat inside here. And the reason for that is that this has the work center console in which this opens up and will fold flat. That gives you a flat load area right here where you can work on paperwork, put your laptop up here without the gear selector impeding on that. Okay, guys, so bringing things down to earth a little bit. This is the 2021 Ford F-150 Super Cab. This one retails at MSRP around about $44,000, which is not a lot comparatively speaking for a Ford F-150. However, this one, as you can imagine, does not have a lot of options on it. You're no longer getting the leather seats with it. You've got the cloth seats, but you've got a very usable back seat here. They do have the seat clamps here, holders on it on both sides, but no ruler on this particular model. Also, there's no hydraulics in the gate, so if you open and close this one, it does fall completely down. So that's something you need to be aware of if you have kids. we're going to check out the interior of this vehicle here. Now this is a super cab, so you've got a usable back seat here. The interior, like I said, is not as big as the other one. As you can see, when the other F-150, the gear selector was here and was able to fold down. This one is a less expensive model, so the gear selector is back up here. However, what you do still get is this laptop area where you're able to make this a flat surface for, I guess, writing, using your laptop. When Ford introduced this, that's how they market it, as a work truck, something you can actually use to work. Now, what they also marketed, which I don't know if this vehicle has, we're going to see, it was a completely folding down back seat, so you're able to, go to the job site and sleep in the vehicle if need be. One cool touch I just noticed here, there's an American flag right here. Not many people are going to notice that, but now you guys know. That's pretty cool. I like that. Kind of reminds me of what Jeep is doing with hiding the little Jeep Willys all over their vehicle. I'm going to see if I can roll this down. Now, this is a crank and fold. It folds not flat, but it is pretty flat. Definitely something you could sleep in if needed. Not as comfortable as what we saw in the advertisement, but then again, this might be different seats. Let's check out as far as connectivity. You've got USB, USB-C here. There should be a 9-volt maybe somewhere in here. Yes, here it is. Sorry, 12-volt and more USB and USB-C here. I know in the other vehicle, this was a household outlet, which gets a huge holder inside there. Sorry guys if it's a little dark in here. This is a dark vehicle. We're in the back corner of the place. So in the back seat here, they are usable, but I will mention, worth noting, that there is no under storage for these. So you're not going to be able to store anything underneath, but it is a useful. Also, even though it's going to be too dark for you to see, but there's a USB and USB-C here and a 9-volt or 12-volt socket there. So yeah, that's the F-150. Not a bad truck for like $43,000. Again, you are missing some creature comforts that you would expect to have. I mean, you're not going to get leather at this price point, but this is a work vehicle, right? And we shouldn't expect to have that at that price point. But for working, this is actually a really good vehicle. Notable, there is not cloth here. This is a rubberized, rubberized floors. Reinforcing the fact that this is a work vehicle and not a luxury vehicle. Alright guys, this is the 2021 Ford F-150 Super Crew. This is very much like what we just saw here. Now this one should be equipped a little bit more because this one, as shown here, retails about $56,000. So I'm expecting to see a little bit more creature comforts than we saw before. But because it's here and I want to show you guys every single vehicle, I'm going to show you inside. And right away I can tell you this interior is updated. While it doesn't have leather seats, we are back at this really cool gear selector. Of course, that does fall into here if you desire. It folds inside, and I think the vehicle needs to be on. But once that's flat, you're able to open this. On the back side, this one may not have it, but this actually is a lay flat, so you're able to put a tray here. Household charger, again with USB, USB-C, and a 12-volt direct port here. Let's try here. Here are the glove compartments. Not too big, but you do have 2 of them, but they're not that big. You have plenty of storage on the doors. This one is again a Super Crew, so let's see if it changes the back. Oh, you know what? This one has 2 full-size doors, so this definitely has more space. Again, there's a difference between that $10,000 between this one and the earlier model we looked at. A lot more. This one also has, unlike the other one, has a panoramic roof. Very nice. One thing you're really missing here is the leather seats. But this cloth is a good cloth. I mean, this is a cloth that you can tell that if you spilled something on it, you'd be able to clean it off pretty easily. The floors have cloth now instead of that rubberized mat, so $10,000 really is a huge difference between those. That huge screen up front is just absolutely beautiful, very commanding. Like we saw the American flag on the other one, let's go see if that's on here. Now we saw the American flag on the other one. This one also has, but in addition to, there's like a street map here. I don't know if that's Detroit. That's my guess. I'm not sure. But that's something worth mentioning. It's not a part of the trim. This trim is actually this black glitter stuff. We saw this also with Toyota. It's interesting that they're doing this. Maybe their manufacturers are going away from the gloss black or piano black and giving this little glitter. Not the biggest fan, and this is, definitely plastic. So, and again, these are work vehicles. So let's continue on to the back. The other one also mentioning, that one had manual seats. These have power seats with a nice rubber around. That's a nice little attention to detail. All right, guys, coming under the bed of this one, and like the one we just saw, it does not have the spray bed liner, but this one is on a hydraulic, so it does not fall down. I don't know if that one is just not equipped with it, or if it's not working. I'm gonna hope, because that's a brand new vehicle, that it's not equipped with it. But this one definitely has it. Again, no spray bed liner, no ruler here for measuring thing, but it does have the C-clamp hooks on both sides. And that's that. Let's head to the next vehicle. All right, guys, we're heading to the next one. This is the 2022 F-150 4x4 Super Crew. And this one is a monster. This also has the Tremor package on it. And again, we're going to see here the step here, which is also not completely deployed, but in practice you're going to be able to stand on this. All right, but in practice you're going to be able to stand on this, hold yourself up on here to bring yourself up. This one noticeably does not have the C-clamp hooks like the F-150 Tremor did, but the bed is completely sprayed through, which I think is the best way to do that in order to protect your vehicle. I've got to stand back just to get this whole thing in. It's so huge. And they're talking just F-250. This is not a 350. There's a 450 as well. This thing is massive. All right, guys, here we are at the 2021 Ford Ranger. Now, this one retails in as shown is about $40,000, which is quite a bit for a pickup truck. But let's go inside. We're going to see what you get for this. This is an important vehicle for Ford, as of course the small trucks are making a comeback. Think so light of the Nissan Frontier and the Toyota Tacoma. Turn this down. Right inside here, you've got this really nice up screen that has a little bit of waterfall, a lot of bezeling around here, but it does have this interesting texture, which I guess is that and not someone's fingerprints. Not sure. I don't know. $40,000 is quite a bit for this vehicle. Now, you are able to carry 4 people in the back because it does have 2 full-size doors in the back. Is it better than the Nissan Frontier? You guys let me know. That's all new, all redesigned. And let's go check out the back here. So you've got back seats that are actually quite usable. We're gonna lift this up and see that there is a little bit of storage in here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't think so. Sorry, there is storage back here. It's very little, nothing like we saw on the Dodge. And in the very back, you've got 2 USBs and open up, and a household, regular household wall charger there with 2 USBs. No USB-C, incredibly, but there is a 1 USB in the very front. This material here is a nice cloth, but this is, of course, hard plastic. I don't know. Is this worth $40,000? You guys let me know. If you're in the market for them, you've got a couple of new vehicles to choose from. It does have a spray bed liner that continues on into the tailgate, which is nice. All right, guys, another important vehicle for Ford. This is their F-150. This is a 2022 Raptor. This is the one that everyone thought that Ford was finally going to put in that V8 engine to better compete with the Dodge, with the Ram T-Rex, and they did not. In fact, it's interesting here on the marketing information, they make no mention that it is a V6. Of course, everyone was hoping they would put a V8 in it. That didn't happen, but they did do some updates with the interior, which were still very much needed for the Raptor. Like we saw in the other F-150, they still have this American flag here, this time in the red, which is indication of the Ford performance. We're gonna hop inside here. Now this one is nice. You guys remember, if you remember from my Mustang reviews, that's saying, I need this. You need me to close the door. Has a wireless charger right here, USB-C here. It has a holder right here to hold your cell phone, looks like the Rams did, but it's also reversed in the reversed order. Huge screen here. I'm actually really loving this. Huge panoramic roof, which is really nice. I like these toggles here for the auxiliary. 6 auxiliary switches here. These are plastic, not the best feeling plastic, but it's a cool detail. Everything up here is plastic except for the drive mode indicator, and this turning, this is rubberized, and it feels really nice. It would have been nice if they brought that same material to all of the knobs. Down here, you've got your 12 volt, you've got your 112 household charger here. Again, to double, how do you open this? That does open, because we did open it on the other one. And again, this one folds down. There's a button actually here that folds this gear selector down. This also will give you that flat area here to be able to work from your vehicle. Thanks. Let's check out the back here. Actually, very usable spaces. I'm really curious if these have the... These seats do fold. Like, this is one of the only ones that I've seen actually with the seats actually do fold up, and there is not just openable but lockable under seat storage. Now you do need to open up that other seat because it spans the entire width. Maybe a good place to hold your rifle. They do not open independently. You have to lift both seats up in order to store something underneath there. In the very back here, you've got a USB-C, and a regular household charger back here. You've also got 2 stage heated seats for the back seats and a 9-volt outlet as well. Very nice looking truck. Nice bead lock on the tires here too. Coming along to the back, we're gonna open this up, see if it, yes, that's on a hydraulic as well. Very nice. Like we saw the other ones, this has a spray bed liner. You have also all of your measuring instrumentation here. And your C-clamp hooks on the side. This one also has the ladder that comes out. This is a nice truck. All right, guys, we're back to trucks here. We're talking about this time. This is one that's getting a lot of attention as well. This is the newly announced Ford F-150 Lightning. If you look in the back here, see if I can zoom in a little. You've got some outlet chargers here, there. Now, when the press release, they were talking about that this could, help generate your house in the case of things going bad. Like we saw in the other F-150, some things have continued on. You've still got the spray bed liner. You still have the numbers here for measuring. You have the C-clamps here, just like you have on the other ones. And the button here, of course, that is for your ladder that comes out of the bottom. So not offensive, is a very easy transition for people going from a traditional combustion engine, maybe want to get into the electric world. It does have a, so we can zoom in here. the huge, I think that's the 16-inch infotainment screen that was first introduced on the Mustang Mach-E. So that has made its way into the Lightning. Of course, the direct rechargers, of course, on the front as well. All right, guys, we're at the front of the Lightning, which is easily the easiest way to identify a Ford Lightning, because honestly, from the other sides, it pretty much looks the same as any other F-150, except for the front, you've got this light bar that goes around. Now, that light bar is just not a driving light, but it isn't just an accent light. And I'm going to show you here that I must say, from the renders you see online, it looks good. However, in person, you quickly realize that there is a lot of plastic with this vehicle. Like, this is plastic here, and you've got this plastic here. Now, this is a pre-production model. This is not the final design, but we're hoping that maybe some better materials find its way into the vehicle, because while the front area, also Ford is marketed for, you know, a lot of storage area, I believe they are also marketing as a place you can use a cooler and things like that. There is quite a bit of plastic in here, but it is getting quite a bit of attention. I will say not quite as much as the traditional combustion F-150s. People, so got to make you think how the Ford customer and the F-150 customer is kind of moving towards this, or how they're receiving the F-150 Lightning. Inside here, there are four household outlets in there. There's also a USB and a USB-C, traditional USB. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. One person passed and said, I thought it was going to be sportier. Other people say they don't like it. Some people like it. It's a mixed bag. The only Ford F-150 here that everyone unanimously does like, seems like, is the Ford F-150 Raptor. So we'll see. But that's your first look at it. My first look at it.
All right, guys, last vehicle here. This is the 2022 Ford Maverick, and this comes standard with a hybrid engine. However, if you want more power, there is a more powerful Ford EcoBoost that you can equip the vehicle with. It's about the same size as the Ford Ranger, although subjectively it is much better looking inside and outside. Ford's definitely going to be marketing the hybridization factor of it, as this vehicle actually starts at a lower price than the Ford Ranger. Now, I want to show you this vehicle because it is a pickup truck. However, if you guys want to see it in more detail, I have an upcoming video featuring all of Ford's electrified vehicles during the show. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Later.